How y'all doing? Welcome. Hey, little Palo Santo. I hope that everyone is doing amazing, fantastic, phenomenal, terrific, joyful, blessed, whatever your go-to word is. When someone asks you how you doing, better than good though. Okay, little Palo Santo. Keep the space going. All right. And my recent favorite, cinnamon. You think I'm tripping? Just get you some cinnamon. Get your little tea light. Burn a tea light. Sprinkle in a little ground cinnamon. Shave it with like a cheese grater or something. Or I guess you could do the ground. And let that tea light cool off and harden, and then burn that bad boy. And ooh, wait, you got you an instant cinnamon experience. If you like cinnamon, some people can't handle cinnamon though, because it can trigger a migraine. Just so you know, if you ever wonder what a trigger for migraines may be, oddly enough, cinnamon is one of those. I just had to share that real quick. I don't know why. All right, hey, I'll be right back. And I'm back. Oh my gosh, y'all. Before we get into all the formalities, let us pray. Father God, in the name of Jesus, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to be together, to pause and to unite. And thank you, praise you, give you the glory, acknowledge you, and ask that you be in our presence. You're always in our presence, Lord, but we ask that we make this sacred time just for you, to show you how much we love and appreciate everything. Thank you for our ancestors. Thank you for them fighting battles in realms that we cannot see. Thank you for their sacrifices and cheering us along. Thank you for all those that mean us well. Thank you for our archangels, for being on assignment, for healing us, for ministering to us, for bestowing messages on your behalf, Lord, and doing all that angels do. We return any negative, evil eye and negative energy back to sender 10 times fold. And the church say, amen. Hey, y'all. I'm Dee. I'm your nurse. I'm your self-care advocate. I'm your big sister, and a whole bunch more that will be listed in the description box below. So if you ever need to reach out for me for anything, that information is there as well. So for you that are new, thank you for finding me in this universe, vastly connected by now social media, right? And technology. The fact that you came across this channel is not by accident or coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidences, and we are absolutely divinely aligned. So welcome and thank you. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. Either way, thank you. All right, so we're gonna get right into it, family. We're gonna do our Blessed Seven, where I intuitively pull some scriptures that you could use right now. Move some things out the way. I finally come to a place of peace with my altar. And as I say that, I dropped the first card, but a little grounding spray. Good friend of mine gave this to me for my birthday, and I appreciate you for it. Okay. You will be secure because there is hope. You will look about you and take rest in safety. Job 11:18. And if you can't hear me, for whatever reason, no worries. All this will be listed in the description. The actual scripture and a little extra message from me. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose finite hope. Martin Luther King Jr. That's that controversial quote that I can't necessarily rock with. Just because I feel like you don't have to accept finite hope. I think that's kind of, finite disappointment. I feel like that's a rather bleak, but Martin Luther King, it's their cards. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was, and forever will be a monumental person in civil rights, and so I respect him. I have to get another candle. One of my candles went out. So I'll pause after the Blessed Seven. Drop in the description box how you guys have been doing. You know, it's so crazy. Okay. So I only missed it by a week or something, but I think because where I live, the weather has been so delicious that I just convinced myself it was perpetual summer. I knew we were in fall. I was in denial and was a whole week behind. I'm like, when does summer end? And so we're in the fall, children. I finally have to accept it. In this world, you will suffer, but be courageous, for I have overcome the world. John 16:33. And everything we have won more than a victory because of Christ who loves us. Romans 8:37. So yeah, I finally had to accept the fact that it's no longer summer. However, bring it on fall. It rained this morning. I had my window open. I just took all that in. So I'm okay with it. As long as I'm not in the rain, I'm a fan of the rain. That just reminded me, and my sons will attest to this. The rain, let me just say, the rain in New Orleans got a whole attitude and disrespectful. Disrespectful as hell. It is ignorant, okay? The rain in New Orleans, that is a personality that y'all dealing with. That is a whole spirit, okay? Because what I felt, it was personal. Those downpours, like the whole time we were in New Orleans, you know, it would go back and forth between being nice. It was like nice for like 30 seconds and then it would be cool again. And so when it rained, it was the day before we were getting ready to go, I think. And when it rained, it kept saying that it was going to stop. You know, like here where I live in the Midwest, if it says it's going to stop in 20 minutes, it's going to stop in 20 minutes for the most part. Okay. It's very rare. But in New Orleans, that particular day, child, it literally kept saying it's going to stop, it's going to stop, it's going to stop. And it never stopped. And it got to the point where it was absolutely just ridiculous. Ubers were like, what's the point? Because it's so flat and sea level, you know, it floods easily. And it's like, who want to live here? Like, what in the it's okay. Because like I say, I love the rain as long as I'm not in it. And New Orleans most certainly confirmed that. I ain't never experienced nothing like that before. So shout out to y'all who endure that. We have our, you know, extremes here, but that's a bit much. That was more than I would like to deal with at any given day. No, thank you. And I can only imagine hurricane season. Like, we already know the damage that can be done. So I don't know how people live there. I just do not know. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Excuse me. We can be tired, weary, and emotionally distraught, but after spending time alone with God, we will find that He injects into our bodies energy, power, and strength. Charles Stanley. It's almost as if I'm reading that for the first time, and I know we've gotten this card before, but it's just hitting a little bit different today. And that's the point of this. Like, these cards are absolutely wonderful when it comes to, you know, giving people the peace that they need in that moment to just keep calm and just trust God. Even if you're not in like a worst case scenario situation, just regular everyday things that we encounter. Encouragement, even when you're feeling good, still feels good as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know, it's hitting different today. Let's see. Got a few more to go. So with the season change, how is it in your part of the world? I'd love to know. Drop it in the description. When you guys interact with me, it really encourages me to continue. So I definitely appreciate the support. May you be blessed by the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Psalms 115:15. Hope is one of the principal springs that mankind keep in motion. Thomas Fuller. I had a really beautiful conversation with someone recently who proposed a question in such a way that I had never even thought of. And I thought it was absolutely amazing. So I want to share it with you. If ever you find yourself in a position where you're wanting to figure out what your next steps are, posing a question to yourself on how that solution would look like. What would be the best possible solution? Or let's say for a job position, let's say you want the perfect job. What does that position look like? And don't hold back, don't insert. And that's where we mess up as people energetically. We insert the limitations of our own belief. And honestly, just doing that exercise in itself will identify if you do in fact have those limited beliefs of what's possible. Because we say it all the time, anything is possible, anything is possible. But do you truly believe that? Because if you put yourself to the test and actually create the best possible solution or scenario or outcome, whatever. So whatever it is that you're mulling over, facing, experiencing, whatever, do you put limitations on that, including other people? Like, do you assume, oh, it's not going to work out because this person isn't going to be on board? Da, 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 da. I remember having a conversation with someone like that once where he was talking about how badly he wants to leave the country and relocate. However, his wife is absolutely against it. And I came up with a couple of different, tactics that might be able to sway her mind. And I also kept reiterating to him, but at the same time, when you're speaking this greatest possible outcome where everyone in your home is on board and ready to go, who all is ever meant to go and leave this country, speak that she's open. Maybe the places that you've seen so far, I know, but maybe there is a place in this world where everyone that's involved in your family will absolutely be on board to go. So when you're speaking things into existence, always say this scenario or better, and that everyone that's meant to be will be, right? Because you don't want to go against anyone's will, obviously. So don't ever put those limitations on yourself, especially when you're playing with your imagination. Your imagination is infinite. I mean, you can sit and pretend like you're riding a unicorn flying over Los Angeles if you want to right now. That sprinkles out cinnamon as it flies by. I don't know. But the point is that try that exercise for whatever it is that you're going through and write out the greatest possible outcome that you could create if you were literally able to write down exactly how it would go and it would come to fruition. Try it out and see. And if you do find yourself having limitations, then that's something that you need to think about and to really ask yourself, why? Why would I limit my own imagination of things working out for the greatest good of me? And if you're hung up on others, that is the problem. Let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Hebrews 12:1. The greatest faith is born in the hour of despair. When you can see no hope and no way out, then faith rises and brings the victory. Lee Roberson. That's something I want to say too, is when you are dealing with other people, because I know there are parents out here who are concerned, like myself, about if I make a decision, how is it going to affect my children? And with that, I always say it'll work out for them as well. Obviously, because whatever happens to me has to work out for them. So make sure that energy is implied, that whoever is meant to be involved, it will work out even better than I can imagine, in ways that I just don't know, because you don't. As many hairs as there are on each individual's head on this planet or body, that's how many possibilities there are. Multiply the stars in the galaxies, you know what I mean, in the universe itself. So you never know how things will work themselves out. So just try that exercise. I really enjoyed the way that she framed the question to me. And it was like, oh, and she even reiterated to me, don't put in any type of restrictions, just, exactly how you would love it to be. And I was like, wow. And so I sat with that for a couple of days and I did it. And I did recognize where I was starting to somewhat insert some limitations. And I was like, yeah, no. And I regrouped and reframed and thought about how to write it better, and practice writing, because writing in itself is a power. aside from owning your vibration and making feeling good a priority in any given moment, um, writing and speaking and yielding your own energy, that is what makes you magical. I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. We cannot always trace God's hand, but we can always trust God's heart. Charles H. Spurgeon. All right, so we got 6 out here and 1 to go. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I think that is awesome. And then just let it go. Some people burn what they write as a symbol of it being done as a spell. I mean, yeah, it is a spell, right? And so you put it under your pillow. You could, do a whole host of things. Hold on 1 second. I'm back. Okay. I was talking about being truly magical. Practice your craft, exercise your imagination, get out here and manifest your dreams. I have so many notifications today. And it's like I want to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I can't. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I can't put my phone on Do Not Disturb, unfortunately. So we're going to have to work this out. But anyway, my train of thought. It'll come back to me. All right, we got 1 more card to go. And then we'll move on to our affirmations because we only write checks that are in cash, okay? So we are purposeful in our speech. Feel free to drop your favorite affirmations in the description box below. I love learning about new affirmations. I love how people come up with, ways to speak things into their lives and how their mind operates when it comes to their ability to manifest. So please feel free to share. I like new stuff too. Also, another good affirmation tool is to write a check to yourself and deposit it, right? Not in your account, obviously, but deposit it in a way that puts you in the same vibration as if you would. Like, if you deposit your checks on online through your apps, like I can do that with mine. I can take a picture of it and virtually deposit. I'm sure most places allow you to do that now. Pull out your camera and act like, you're depositing in your account. And as you are awaiting that check to clear, what are all the things that you're going to be excited about doing with that? And we're talking about money that goes beyond just, I got this I need to pay for, I got that I need to pay for. I'm talking about, like, again, use your imagination and a number that is very tasty and delicious to you. What number would that be right about now? Another thing I came across was an affirming session where you sit for 10 minutes and you just say your affirmation for 10 minutes straight and really get into that vibration. That's another good one. I've done that. And it feels good, along with closed loop meditations. Closed loop meditations are where you put your hands together. And if you're able to put your soles of your feet together, there are different ways that you can do it. When I learned about it initially, the person was saying that you need to do it on the floor. If you're not that flexible though, or if your circulation gets cut off, you can lay back on the floor and do it. But the only thing is that you may fall asleep. And so when you do a closed loop meditation, essentially what you're doing is you're grounding yourself, right? Which is why they suggest being on the floor. And you imagine a white light, into your crown chakra coming down from the universe and filling you up. Okay. And you have to seriously own this imagery in your mind that you're being filled up with cosmic energy. And you feel that energy in yourself, and then you see it encircling you and turning all around you. And once you get into that vibration of being able to truly feel that and see that, that's when you start affirming, I am a billionaire. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I'm a billionaire, and keep going. Last card here for our blessed 7. Your sun will never set again, and your moon will never be dark, because the Lord will be your light forever. Isaiah 60:20. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. James 5:16. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your blessed seven. What? And at the top of the day, my favorite. Of course, as I drop it on the floor. Your Father already knows your needs. That is Luke 12:30. That is my absolute favorite scripture. For those of you that have been watching me, you know that I usually like lose my brain. Or I have a quick little party shimmy because I'm excited to see that card because that is confirmation. Daddy knows. Daddy knows. All right. Moving right along to our affirmations. I'm talking about all kinds of notifications today. When you get distracted, just bring your focus back. It's okay. I got my window open because I'm hoping that it rains during this recording. I was so excited. Like, I love the summer and everything, don't get me wrong, but a nice rainy day every once in a while, soothing, it's relaxing, it's quite peaceful just to hear the soft rain. I always think about people, though, whose birthday it is. It's like, dang. Unless they like this type of weather, this might be their thing. It snowed and rained on my birthday, and my birthday is in April. So I've had a heat wave. I've had great weather. I've had a blizzard, thanks to Prince. He said sometimes it snows in April, and he wasn't lying. And I think that year that he passed away was like 2 days before my birthday, and it did snow, if I remember correctly. I was in Hawaii at the time, but yeah. Anyway, it snowed in my hometown, not in Hawaii. I choose to enjoy my life. Everything works out for my highest good. Okay, so we're going to do 7 affirmations like we did for our blessed 7. And those are your first 2 out. I choose to enjoy my life and everything works out for my highest good. All right, that's 2. There are some other affirmations that would be helpful. I love myself deeply, and you better. You love yourself so much, it's going to take a lot for somebody to trump you. And even not so much trump you, add to you. Add to you. But they could try to trump you. They should try. That should be their goal, is to trump you. And loving you. But co-creating and coexisting with someone, as long as they love themselves deeply as well, and you all love each other deeply. Let's go. Sounds like a plan. All right. I choose to make today a great day. The choice is yours. You can make it a crappy day or you can make it a great day. Oh my goodness. So I actually got tested, literally got tested yesterday with that very sentiment. I am at more ease every day. I'm at more ease every day. I literally got tested yesterday because it was everything from waking up with a migraine, which is always, it is what it is. And because if I go to sleep with one, I always think to myself, I'm going to wake up, it'll be gone. This particular day, I woke up with it. So, all right, no problem. Took my medicine. I knew better. Then what happened? I took a vehicle in for service and they lost the keys. They came back to pick me up, got me all good to go. Okay, you can go now. We're just going to get the keys for you. 2 hours. I had been fasting for 40 hours at that point. And they're like, please. And I was not upset. I was literally fine. I just found something else to do while I sat there and waited for them to find the keys. I did not complain at one time, didn't say anything at all. Just sat there and my energy was very calm and cool about it. It was as if it didn't matter. I was either going to be at home sitting here doing this or sitting at, here doing this. It didn't matter. But they were frantic because they thought that maybe I was going to, lose it or something. I don't know. But anyway, at one point they came back to me and was like, we could take you back home. And then once we find the keys, I'm like, no, I have errands I need to run. And, I got stuff I got to take care of. So yeah, you're going to have to find those keys. And they're like, oh, we're going to make you another one and another fob and everything. And I'm like, yeah, no, that has a automatic start on it. So you're going to have to find those keys. Sorry. So 2 hours goes by and they finally find the keys in another car. And I was all right with it. When it came to check me out, though, I was like, so I probably should get some type of discount for sitting here for quietly for 2 hours while you couldn't find my keys. And guess what? They gave me a discount. So, and then there was something else. Oh, as soon as I left, the check engine light came on. Turn around, take the car back. So, and I'm not upset about any of it because I have gotten to the point in myself where I am where I am and where I am is aligned. Okay. That's another affirmation that you can absolutely please. I am where I am and where I am is aligned with my greatest good. If you want to take it a little further. And the thing is that you have to recognize that if you have asked for, and I've asked for a big thing, a couple big things actually, you have to recognize where the doors begin to slowly but surely shut. Other doors are also simultaneously opening. And so things have to be cleared away to make space for what you've asked for. And so I'm not tripping on none of it because I see it. I understand it. I'm recognizing how things are unfolding so that the new that I've requested, that I've set out into the cosmos to come back to me far better than I could ever imagine, requires these things to end, requires these things to be replaced. So I'm okay because I know everything is always working out for me and where I am is aligned. So yes, it was a test. Okay. Ended up with me getting a bag of chocolate for 13 cents though. Taurus is love to flex on food, but especially when we can save some money, okay? For real. I choose to trust my gut and instincts. I choose to trust my gut and instincts. All right, so we are at 6. We got one more to go. And thank you for, hanging in here this far with me. I'm enjoying you, so I pray that you are enjoying me just as much. And okay, hold on. I found it. It flew out, and I was like, okay, where to go? I'm courageous and stand up for myself. All right, because if you don't, who will? I was having that conversation with my teenagers. When people try to bait you into stuff, pick your battles. There's a line from Catwoman in was it Batman? Which Batman was that with Catwoman? Michelle Pfeiffer. Which one was it? Batman Returns, I think. Because she wasn't in the first one. No. But anyway, I wouldn't touch you to scratch you. That's what she says. I wouldn't touch you to scratch you. Listen, it take a lot for me to want to engage with somebody on some ignorant stuff. So good luck, for me. But for Scorpios, that's a whole nother other, And really a lot of signs. It's like, all right, you want to go low? I'm gonna take you to the ocean floor, And it's like for Tauruses, we be like, I forgot you even existed. What? Who? It is not is it a flex? I think it's a flex because really, we're only here to be aligned with people for however long we're meant to be aligned with them, and then you wish them adieu. Nothing but love and light, But if I gotta get away from you, or if you're baiting me into negative things, or causing to a disruption in my peace, it's either me or you, and I'm staying. So I'm just saying, please adopt that. If people are baiting you into stuff, drama, or, they're just using you on some level, get away from them. No love lost. Protect you. So stand up for you. And sometimes standing up for you is getting out of the way. You can stay. I'll go. All right. So these are my favorite spirit messages, right? What time is it? Okay. Instead of pushing yourself so hard, stop, breathe. Everybody take a deep breath. And reevaluate you are doing enough, even if it doesn't feel like it. Don't wear yourself out to the point of exhaustion. It is not worth it. Balance your time more wisely. Yeah, balance your time more wisely. I was having a conversation with a woman about a year ago, and I asked her what is it that she wanted, and she said she wanted more time. And I was like, okay, done. Yeah, but no, it's done. And I talked to her recently, and she was saying, yeah, life has changed so much, and I have so much more time. See, don't overcomplicate the ability for the universe to do its job. You simply put out the request, the universe got the rest. You put out the request, the universe got the rest. That is the title, ladies and gentlemen. Make today your new beginning. Try to leave any past mistakes in the past. Don't allow them to weigh you down any longer. Move forward today with the confidence and knowing that you have better and brighter days ahead. I love it. I love it. I love it. Make today your new beginning. Make today your new beginning. Your life is about to start moving quickly in some areas. Events that seem to have been on hold suddenly propel forward. Move with the flow and be mindful of what needs your attention most. Make decisions rationally but sensibly. And as I say that, my ear starts to ring. I love these cards, but a lot of times it's kind of difficult to see the punctuation. So if I get to stammering, that is why. All right, here we go. And so even with me being tested yesterday, I was able to come home, finish my fast, do my workout, keep it moving. And it ended up being like really a beautiful day in spite of, the migraine, in spite of the 2 hours, in spite of having to turn the car back around, in spite of anything that could have been deemed as negative, because I don't see it as a negative at this point. I see it as one, my body was talking to me because I decided to fast. And maybe I went along a little bit further than it wanted to go. And that's fine. I definitely needed water. The 2 hours, again, I took care of what I needed to take care of, whether I was sitting there or here or wherever. And again, I've asked for lots and lots and lots of beautiful things that are getting ready to manifest in my world. And it only makes sense that certain situations have to end. So it was a beautiful day. We're going to move on now to our big O deck and the rethink. We will do Namaste, Bible Roulette, burn some Baileys, send you on your way. And again, everything will be in the description box. Ooh, we got too many because we're only going to do two. We're only doing 2 rethinks and 2 Namastes. I was looking at my Bible earlier and I'm like, I pray we fall on something we haven't before. Inner child healing. I honor and nurture my inner child tenderly, healing the wounds of the past and embracing the pure joy and innocence within me. I release any pain or burdens, allowing my inner child to flourish and infuse my life with boundless happiness. Yes, that inner child in you, that little version of you, still there. There's a picture of me as a baby on social media somewhere, and it's one of my favorite pictures. It's me laying to one of my parents, laying on the bed next to one of my parents, and their leg is in the shot, and I'm facing the camera and I'm smiling, and I got milk coming down the side of my mouth. My bottle is laid off to the side, and I always, and I think it says milk drunk or something, And so when I think of my inner child, I think of her. And I look exactly the same. That's the crazy part. I mean, literally exactly the same. And we probably have the same hairstyle. But anyway, point is that your inner child doesn't go anywhere. And if you ignore it, it's going to come out. It's going to lash out at some point. So you might as well start honoring, start acknowledging, and start healing. And most importantly, start loving. Authenticity. I live authentically staying true to myself and my values. I embrace my uniqueness and express it confidently, honoring my own voice and following the path that resonates with my soul. I know that's right. I was watching a video of an artist. I cannot remember her name, but she is from New York. And she had like um, African tribal paint on her face. And I didn't even recognize the fact that they were talking about her uniqueness and authenticity and the fact that she had this on. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, like I'm so obviously I have my own unique look and I've had different unique looks over the years. Um, the fact that we're in this place where we do accept people's uniqueness is beautiful because I came from a decade where what is that? At least in the part of the world that I existed at that time. You know, it was like it was okay for TV, but in walking down the street, what? All right, namaste. Because somebody out there wants homework, so we're gonna give it to you. Let's see. I love these cards too because they do come up with some really good exercises to do. Ooh. All right. Walk, walk, walk. And I've been doing a lot more of that lately too. And yes, please. Some days life feels heavier than others. When this happens, stop when you can and take a walk. Motion creates emotion. New emotions help get your mind off old moods that can weigh you down. When you walk, you give your mind a well-deserved vacation. After a walk, you will be able to work more effectively and have a clear understanding of your situation. Getting outside, period, is so therapeutic. So, yes, even if you have to walk around your bedroom, but I highly recommend if you can get outside and walk, please do. Because fresh air and just being in nature, you know, grounds you. It helps reset you. It helps you, you know, release, recharge you, all of that good stuff. And if the sun is out too, you winning. The sun is always out, obviously. I mean, if it's not a cloudy day, but the point is that getting outside, even if you got to bundle up a little bit, strip a little bit, depending on where you are in the world, get your butt outside. Get outside the four walls of your mind. And taking some nature. We are nature. We just decided to go inside. How dare we? For those of us who live in a society where you mainly live indoors, maybe that's where I need to be. I need to live somewhere where I'm able to live outside simultaneously while being inside. Because, you know, me and insects, we still working on our relationship. Relax your face. Gently relax your eyes. In doing so, feel how the rest of your face wants to follow in turn. Let your forehead drop as your jaws and ears float on your head. Now let your tongue sleep in your mouth. Stress can tighten your face and cause your head to feel tired. Relaxing your face can help you feel less stressed. I like it. All right, so we're moving right along. So last but not least, Bible Roulette. Let us see what the Lord has to say today. The busted Bible Roulette, baby. Let me get it right. Okay. I'll never forget the episode where I burned this thing off. I mean, I burned it off and you all had no clue. I didn't say a word. I was like, oh, that happened. I think years of training as a nurse, you learn how to just, okay. Not that you don't care. It's just like, that happened. Let's deal with it. You don't always have to be hysterical to deal with things. All right, Lord, what's the word? Something appropriate and wonderful for myself and my amazing collective that came to spend some time with me today. Thank you once again. Judges. Okay, so write that down. I have a New Living Translation Bible here. I'm only going to read what I have highlighted and underlined, and I'm going to send you on your way after we burn some bay leaves. So today we're going to do Judges 1 through 2. And today's date is, and it is, all right, Judges 1 through 2, New Living Translation Bible from me. Okay, so I'm going to read what I've highlighted over the years, and I ask that you would go back and ingest the rest. So, Danai Bezek said, okay, so this is Judges 1:7. I once had 70 kings with their thumbs and big toes cut off, eating scraps from under my table. Now God has paid me back for what I did to them. They took him to Jerusalem and he died there. 14. Then Akash, I'm going to say this now. If I cannot pronounce these names, it is what it is. Okay, I do the best I can. Akase married Othniel, who urged him to ask her father for a field. As she got down off her donkey, Caleb asked her, "What's the matter?" 15. She said, "Let me have another gift. You have already given me the Negev. Now, please give me springs of water too." So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. 19. Israel fails to conquer the land. The Lord was with his people, the Lord was with the people of Judah, and they took possession of the hill country. But they failed to drive out the people living in the plains who had iron chariots. I think I need to go ahead and turn some lights on. Hold on a second. All right, shield your eyes. I'm back. Much better too. I'm in here trying to force it. Okay, so where was I? The Lord was with his people of Judah, and they took possession of the hill country, but they failed to drive out the people living in the plains who had iron chariots. The town of Hebron was given to Caleb as Moses had promised, and Caleb drove out the people living there, who were descendants of the three sons of Anak. 23. They sent men to scout out Bethel, formerly known as Luz. They confronted a man coming out of the town and said to him, "Show us a way into the town, and we will have mercy on you." So he showed them a way in, and they killed everyone in the town except the man and his family. Later, the man moved to the land of the Hittites, where he built a town. He named it Luz, which is its name to this day. 27. The tribe of Manasseh failed to drive out the people living in Bethshan, Tanakh, Dor, and Ilbium, Megiddo, and all their surrounding settlements, because of the Canaanites were determined to stay in that region. 29. The tribe of Ephraim failed to drive out the Canaanites living in Gezer, so the Canaanites continued to live there among them. The tribe of Zebulun failed to drive out the residents of Kitron and Naholoho. So the Canaanites continued to live among them, but the Canaanites were forced to work as slaves for the people of Zebulun. The tribe of Asher failed to drive out the residents of Akko, Sidon, Alab, Akzib, Helba, Hike, and Rohab. Instead, the people of Asher moved in among the Canaanites who controlled the land, for they failed to drive them out. Likewise, the tribe of Naphtali failed to drive out the residents of Beth Shemesh and Beth Ananath. Instead, they moved in among the Canaanites who controlled the land. Nevertheless, the people of Beth Shemesh and Beth Ananath were forced to work as slaves for the people of Naphtali. As the tribe of Dan, the Amorites forced them back into the hill country and would not let them come down into the plains. The Amorites were determined to stay in Mount Heres, Ajalon, and Shebalim. But when the descendants of Joshua came stronger, they forced the Amorites to work as slaves. 2. Judges 2. The Lord's messenger comes to Bukim. I brought you out of Egypt into this land that I swore to give your ancestors, and I said I would never break my covenant with you. For my part, you are not to make any covenants with people living in this land. Instead, you were to destroy their altars, but you obeyed my but instead you were to destroy their altars, but you disobeyed my command. Why did you do that? Why did you do this? So now I declare that I will no longer drive out the people living in your land. They will be the thorns in your sides, and their gods will be a constant temptation for you. We're going to jump over to 10. Israel disobeys the Lord. After that generation died, another generation grew up who did not acknowledge the Lord or remember the mighty things that he had done for Israel. The Israelites did evil in the Lord's sight and served the images of Baal. They abandoned the Lord, the God of their ancestors who had brought them out of Egypt. They went after their gods, worshiping the gods of the people around them, and they angered the Lord. They abandoned the Lord to serve Baal and images of Ashtoreth. This made the Lord burn with anger against Israel. So he handed them over to the raiders who stole their possessions. He turned them over to their enemies all around, and they were no longer able to resist them. Every time Israel went out to battle, the Lord fought against them, causing them to be defeated, just as he had warned, and the people were in deep duress. 16. The Lord rescues his people. Then the Lord raised up judges to rescue the Israelites from their attackers. Yet Israel did not listen to the judges, but prostituted themselves by worshiping other gods. How quickly they turned away from the path of their ancestors who had walked in obedience of the Lord's commands. 18. Whenever the Lord raised up a judge over Israel, he was with that judge and rescued the people from their enemies throughout the judge's lifetime. For the Lord took pity on his people who were burdened by oppression and suffering. But when the judge died, the people returned to their corrupted ways, having been behaving worse than those who had lived before them. They went after other gods, serving and worshiping them. They refused to give up their evil practices and stubborn ways. 20. So the Lord burned with anger against Israel. He said, because these people have violated my covenant, which I made with their ancestors, and have ignored my commands, I will no longer drive out the nations that Joshua left unconquered when he died. I did this to test Israel to see whether or not they would follow the ways of the Lord of their ancestors. This is why the Lord left those nations in place. He did not quickly drive them out or allow Joshua to conquer them all. That was a lot. So there will be a message in the description under the Bible Roulette section with an extra message from me. All right, be right back. All right, so time to burn some bay leaves to set your intention for only positive things. Okay, nothing illegal, nothing against anyone's will. All right, I'm believing with you as you are believing with me that these things will absolutely and have already come to fruition. I hope you've enjoyed your time with me as much as I have enjoyed it with you. And if you are off to bed to start your day, or you're just taking a break, may it all be wonderful. nice bay leaf. Remember to stay hydrated, stay rested, stay peaceful, stay intentional, stay amazing, and most of all, beloved, stay loved. Until next time, ciao.